Hello YouTube, welcome to my channel. My name is Billy and tonight I'm going to be doing a play on my beef Wellington, which is something that I really enjoyed, but we're going to change it up a little bit. We've got two pretty nice size cuts of prime beef, and I've got some, just a mixture of mushrooms. You've got your shiitake, your baby portobello, and some there's another one in here, but I forgot what it is. And basically, I've taken about a cup of those and just I went ahead and started those in my food processor. And I've also got about one golf ball size clove of shallot and about 4 cloves of garlic. And I just went ahead and chopped those up a little bit just because my food processor is really small, so it needs a little bit of help from time to time. So we're going to take these and we're just going to add that in to the mushrooms. Just until it's pretty good. All right, we're going to take that in a bowl. Okay. Now we're going to add a little bit of salt to that and a little bit of pepper. That's the taste. Where are you at? Okay, a little bit of salt. I like a lot of pepper, so I'm going to add quite a bit more of that. Okay, and then I'm just going to grab a spoon and just kind of toss that in. Just make sure everything is mixed up pretty well. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get our skillet. I've got a cast iron skillet with just a little bit of olive oil. We're going to turn that to medium, and once that starts getting hot, we're going to go ahead and sear our cuts of prime beef. I'm going to go ahead and get the salt and pepper, and we're going to put a pretty good amount on the meat. This is one of the few times you'll actually see me use a lot of salt. Stop. Okay. We're going to do the other side. We're just going to take this whole setup over closer to the skillet. Olive oil does not take very long at all to heat up. It has a very low smoke point, so it can burn really quick. And basically all we're going to do is we're going to sear those all the way around, and then we're going to get those to the desired doneness. I mean, everyone has their desired doneness for meat. And then we're going to wrap that in the puff pastry. You can stop. Okay, now that we know that our pan is hot, we're just going to pop those right down into the cast iron skillet. Cast iron is really good to have around because especially like when it's cold or like today when it's really foggy and wet, you know, cast iron is like a really good alternative to grilling. You kind of get the same flavors and it cooks really even. You can use cast iron for a lot of things. And we're just going to sear these all the way around all sides until everything is done to our desired doneness. And that's going to vary depending on every single person. So. You can use the sides of your cast iron skillet too, because the nice thing about cast iron skillet is it heats evenly, so you don't have, cool spots. The whole skillet gets completely hot all the way around. We're going to let those set for a minute, and I'm going to go ahead and prepare our baking pan. Okay, now that we have our fried beef pretty much almost all the way to where we want it, I'm going to put that on a plate and let it rest for a minute. Now for mine, I'm going to do mine very similar to the way I did the beef Wellington. We're going to wrap both of these up in some foil pretty snugly. I'm going to do that one by itself because we're going to do that one a little differently. And then I'm going to take mine and a little bit of country Dijon mustard. I'm using the country Dijon mustard this time because the horseradish that I used on the beef Wellington was extremely hot. I do like hot stuff, but it was pretty hot even for me. So we're gonna go this route. And I'm just gonna put a little bit on, and then I'm gonna use my little basting brush and just to work that in there. Just until the whole thing is coated on all the sides, all the way around. Flip that and do the other side. The country Dijon compared to the regular spicy mustard, it's just not as hot. And I do like hot things, but I don't want to overdo the heat tonight. Okay. Now with that, I'm going to take my mushroom mixture, and I'm just going to use my hands. It's just going to be a lot easier. And I'm just going to pat that all over the top. All over the sides. And then on the other side. Okay, and then I'm going to take the prosciutto and I'm just going to wrap that. Alright, and I'm going to get a little bit more foil. Place that right in there. Wrap it up. And now, all I'm going to do with that is I'm going to take these and put those in the oven for about 20 minutes. You'll see I have another pan already in the oven, and that's just 2 sweet potatoes wrapped in foil. And those are going to go at about 400 degrees for about 45 minutes to an hour, just depending on the size of your potatoes. You can stop. Okay, now that the beef has been in the oven for 20 minutes, okay, that one is exactly the way it's going to be for said person. Okay, now for mine, because there's a lot of moisture left in those. Actually, no, that's perfect. That's what I want. Okay. Now, for these, I've got a piece of puff pastry and just a little pizza cutter. And I'm just going to gently go across that. Okay, just to break it up. Okay, I'm going to take our tongs because that is really hot. Right down on the puff pastry, and we're just going to wrap that up. This is very similar to a beef Wellington, but it's just a little smaller, and you know, there's just the 2 of us tonight, so just going to kind of crimp the edges pretty good. And then we're going to put these right back down on the same pan. Okay, now we're going to do mine. Right down on the pastry. And then we're going to wrap that up. it down. Okay, now, you can stop. Okay, to finish these off, I've just taken 1 egg yolk and my little basting brush, and we're just gonna go all the way across all of the whole all the dough until it's completely coated. Okay, and then we're just gonna sprinkle on some salt. Okay, and that's gonna go back in the oven at 400 just until the dough is done, and then it's ready to eat. Okay, once your puff pastry is completely done and flaky, you're done. It's ready to eat, and you have a perfect little meat pie. That's it.